Is this on? Yes, it is on. Good morning again. So this is the late Glenn Miller here to welcome you belatedly. My apologies for my tardiness. Secretary Rivera had the good fortune to get ahead of the accident, and I decided I was going to sit in the traffic. So, but I was able to be here for 3 of the 4, and then the CAT group gave me a personal reveal. So thank you to them as well, and thank you to each of you for being here and for your participation in ILead throughout the year. I've come to know this program a lot better than I did when I started 2 years ago, and to appreciate it to a much greater degree than I ever have. And so thanks for participating. Thanks to your home libraries or institutions, whatever the case may be, for their permission to have you involved. And just talk with Diana here for a few minutes about the wealth of expertise that has been developed over time that is available now across Pennsylvania in our library community. So that's something we hope to tap into in the years ahead. I told Diana that I would keep it brief. I know you'll be all relieved to hear that, and I know you want to get on to the formal presentations, and I apologize that I'm going to need to cut out to meet a 1 o'clock deadline today. So, but I was pleased to see the 4 reveals this morning. I wanted to take a moment to say a word of thanks to a handful of folks who labor in our shop on your behalf here in Harrisburg, and thank them for what they do. And let me begin with Diana Megdad, who you know, who is one of our library development. She does a wonderful job with this program and many other activities in our Bureau of Library Development. So thank you, Diana, for what you have done and continue to do. I also want to introduce the other advisors that I see in the room. Just wave as I give your name: Susan Panabaker, Ed Lupico, Ann Kruger. For some odd reason, I always butcher Ann's name. It's not that difficult a name. Ann Kruger. And up in the back is our Director of Library Development, Brian Dawson. Brian, good to see you. And Matt, you met out at the table. And somewhere hiding in the deep resources of this room is Jesse White. Is it White? Jesse? No. Yeah, anyway, Jesse's here. So thank you, Jesse, for your help on this. This is a great way for us to connect with our communities in ways that are uniquely library-like. The whole world of informal learning, hands-on learning. One of our great challenges in the library, in the Office of Commonwealth Libraries, is connecting us more fully with all that goes on with the Department of Education. And one of the ways that we can do that so well is through informal learning and through all of the types of things that you've demonstrated here and your predecessors in previous years have demonstrated that make libraries uniquely American and uniquely well positioned to help educate not just old folks like me, but the workforce of the future. So it's exciting to see this in the flesh. And for me personally, it's great that you are able to connect with Secretary Rivera on these things. He loves being here for these reveals, and always walks away with a broader understanding of the potential in libraries as well as the current capabilities. So I'm grateful for that, because that makes my job a little bit easier as I work with the various other offices in the Department of Education. So I told you I'd be brief, and with that, let me just say again how much I appreciate what you have done here, and I hope you'll have a great rest of this morning. And there's plenty of food I see out there, so you'll want some of that as well. So thanks for being here. Thanks for doing this. And I should also just a quick note, I don't know them all, but thank you, special thank you to the folks who took time out of their careers to be mentors here. Melinda, David, Miriam, Jason, who did I miss? Anybody? No? David. Well, David Rengen's always here, so yeah, he's always here. But so thank you to those mentors as well. That's a critical piece to this, and we appreciate what they've done. Give it up for the mentors. Okay, so with that, let me excuse myself. Thanks again for the time, the indulgence as I got to say a few words, and I'll look forward to a full report from Diana when this is all over. Thanks.
You're going to show off the fruit of your labor. And I'm just so excited for y'all. And just a few tips. Is this working? Doesn't sound loud enough. Is it okay? Okay. So when you're speaking, you will need to use the microphone. You really sure? And this is being recorded again. So I believe our first team is Team ABC ESL. Come on down.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me all right? I'm Alice Marie Collins. I'm from the Gladwin Library in part of Lower Marion Township Library System. Actually, on the end. All right. There we go.
Hi, I'm Catherine Scholl, Sacred Heart Academy, Bryn Mawr, Library Media Specialist.
Hi, I'm Mary Boykoff. I'm a librarian. I formerly worked at the Memorial Library of Nazareth and vicinity in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
And I'm Laura Brandt. I am the IT and Young Adult Programs Manager at the Ephrata Public Library.
And also for Team ABC ESL. True story. And I am Nadine Kramars. I am the director at McBride Memorial Library in Berwick, Pennsylvania. And we are going to talk about getting to hello. So getting to the next slide. Our community was the immigrant and non-English speaking or English as a second language community. We focused on teens and young adults, and we decided to give them an opportunity to work on language skills. So when we first got this assignment, and no one knew what ILead was, and we're all like, all right. We went on and we did a lot of research, and we discovered that the primary issue that immigrants face are language barriers. They become socially isolated, they have difficulties getting health care that they need. They have difficulties finding jobs, and it's based on their inability to communicate effectively with other people in the country. And we looked at the different types of immigrants who come to our country and their different reasons. Some are refugees, and that's very dire. Some are wealthy, and they're exchange students, and they already have a very strong grasp of the language. So when you look at these two very extreme things, how do you kind of create something that meets their need? So we decided to aggregate all of the wonderful ESL tools out there and put it on an iPad. We picked the iPad because it makes sense, and Alice Marie's going to talk about that. Our solution was getting to hello. Originally, we thought about creating an app that would address the issues that non-English speakers have, such as stilted speech, understanding idioms, cultural awareness, and connecting with others who are learning English as a second language. We had very, very big plans, too big.
So through a lot of brainstorming sessions and many Google Hangout meetings, we're able to narrow our focus, and that's when we decided upon putting all the resources that were actually already out there of things that we wanted to create and put them into one tool. And so we called this our digital toolkit, Getting to Hello. We chose the iPad to hold the toolkit because the device appeals to youth. It's easy to use, it's very user-friendly, it has reliable hardware, and we can personalize it. Next slide.
There are several ways to evaluate getting to hello. This slide shows that the primary question we would ask is, how confident do you feel with your language skills? And for you, those of you who are not multilingual, we also have the question up there in Arabic, Chinese, French, German, Hindi, Russian, and Spanish. To answer that question, we would use a scale of happy faces, commonly called the Baker-Wong feeling scale, or my daughter would probably say, no, it's emojis. And then as far as tracking the iPad, we would track the library card that checks it out. We would monitor how many times it's used over the course of 6 months. We would like to see an increase in circulation and use from the ESL population.
So these are some of the apps and websites we put on the iPad. We chose ones that would help an ESL student in their speaking, listening, writing, and reading. So I'm coming from a teacher background, so two that I'm going to talk about are BrainPop ESL and Quizlet. BrainPop has BrainPop Regular, BrainPop Junior, and BrainPop ESL. It's very engaging. It has that robot character you see on the screen, Moby, and it offers a lot of things for students to practice their English in all those key skills of reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So to demonstrate one, we're going to show this one, which is called Egg on Your Face, and it deals with idioms. Oops. BrainPop ESL is an expensive app. It's $59, so it's ideal for libraries to have access to it because the student wouldn't necessarily be able to have that app on an iPad. BrainPop ESL does common situations that a ESL person might encounter to help practice their vocabulary. So did you purchase the app then? Yes. Mm-hmm.
For each library, for each? Yeah, we each got 2 iPads, and then we purchased it for each.
And how many times when you download that, could you use the one download for both iPads? I believe you can put it on 4, actually, but I'm not positive on that. No volume?
We have no sound.
Oh, we have no sound. Aww.
So why don't you describe what this video is going to show?
Okay, well, just showing, obviously, an idiom. Oh, sorry. And then the ESL student is actually doing what he's saying rather than getting the idiom. But Moby is the robot with the cooking hat, and he's very engaging. Kids really enjoy him. Kids of all ages. It really works even with little ones up to high school. And
What's nice about this clip and the clips that are in there is they're speaking, but he also, so he uses the idiom in conversation, and then Moby is extremely literal, and then he explains to him, no, I mean this. So, and he explains it in easy terms, which is what we really liked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to talk about Quizlet?
Yep. So the second app that, another app that we included on the iPad is Quizlet. And Quizlet is great. It's like flashcards reinvented. You type your information in, and then you can create a game, a matching game, quiz yourself. You can share your cards with other people. You can even search for cards on a particular subject that are already made. It's like a sharing app. So that's good. And sugarcane?
One of the websites that we put on and that we came across when we were still going to make our game was sugarcane.com. And so we already put it on to the ELA site, but it has matching games, and as you can see, you can make different kinds of games under these different titles: prefixes, suffixes, idioms, prepositions, transition words, verb tenses. And people who go onto this website can create the games. So again, we're choosing idioms. And so you would just click on idioms. Okay. And then they have, I like the matching game. It's pretty straightforward, and I'm sure it was easy to do. So you have a definition, and then you have the idiom, and then they have to figure it out. So, for example, cut the mustard. Do you guys see what the answer would be? Come to the point and leave out details. Let's see. Oh, I'm wrong. So it's nice. It's pretty straightforward. Not playing with the full deck. Does anybody know the answer? So you get instant gratification on it. But it's simple, but it explains things very well. And that's what we tried to do with a lot of the games that we preloaded onto the iPads. Who's next?
So we're highlighting some of our favorite things, but there are tons of websites, YouTube channels, podcasts, all kinds of content loaded onto the iPads. I wanted to highlight Duolingo, which I'm 100% sure at least some of you have heard of and or used. Hands up if you've used it, please. Right? So you know what it is. It's a language learning app, but it actually makes it fun for the person trying to learn the language. So it has little flashcards where it's a matching game of, oh, here's the words in that language. Here's a picture of different things. Which one is it? After you do that for a while, it will actually put phrases up on the screen and be like, can you make a sentence in the language you're trying to learn? How would you say this? And as you go through, it's in bite-sized chunks so that when you reach the end of the lesson, you feel like you accomplished something, but you've maybe spent 15 minutes playing this game. Duolingo is great at building on what you're learning. It gives you a little chart, shows you exactly where you're at. But since almost all of you put your hands up, you know that. And this was one of our free apps that we put onto the device. So our patrons will be able to use them for free on these devices, but download them on their own after they've tried them out at the library.
So I'm looking at YouTube. YouTube is not its own thing. This is actually Read Aloud, which is an ESL channel. We don't have to go to it because our volume doesn't work, and you're not going to be able to hear the Robert Louis Stevenson poem read aloud for you. But as you notice, the word foreign is highlighted. What is really nice about this one is it's for visual learners. They can sit and listen to the poem, and as they say the word gets highlighted, very like karaoke. And for people, when you just watch two people talking, you can't necessarily associate what you're looking at, the written language, which is easier to pick up on, with what they're saying. But now you can see how it's spelled, see what it looks like, and hear how it's supposed to sound at the same time. You can make that visual oral connection. So, and I was also a big fan of the poem, personally, so I'm a little sad face. When you guys get a chance, go online, go to Read Aloud, find Foreign Lands. I think it will be an interesting experience.
So we're telling you about all of this content that we found, but anyone could go on and find this. So why do we think our project is so great? We got the iPads and we started to put all of this content onto the iPads, and then we started sorting it so that when someone takes an iPad out, they can see on the screen that we have everything sorted into folders, and they can pick whatever they want to focus on. Now, our folders are currently in English, and that does not help an ESL learner that's right at the beginning. The idea would be when it gets to each of our respective libraries, we might put these in the languages for our population that we serve. We discovered we all serve unique populations. None of us could say, oh, we have all Spanish community in our area. So when it comes back to my library, these might be switched to Russian because we have a lot of ESL Russian patrons. Our project is already to go to other libraries. So if you would adopt this at your library, it's really easy to personalize. You can add apps for digital services just available at your library. Some libraries offer Mango languages. You can throw that app on there. You can add websites for locations in your community. So your literacy councils, your community centers, anywhere they can go to for ESL classes, you can get that onto your iPad. And you can also put your library websites, which is really important because we want them coming to the library.
Since Getting to Hello is on a portable iPad, it's an excellent tool for outreach. You can take it into the middle schools and the high schools. You can also take it, like if you have an English as a second language class running in your area, you could also bring this in and show it to the class. Another place you can go is, we've done community events, like a community day. You can set up a table and it brings attention to your library. Another area that if you have a bookmobile, it's something that you could add to being used on your bookmobile. So that's one of the reasons why we like that it's on an iPad, that it is so portable. It can be used in so many different places.
So where do you find these wonderful iPads? Well, as we introduced ourselves, here are the addresses where they are currently. You also can get your own iPads. I know that there are lots of people eager to invest in technology at my library. I'm sure your library has similar things. Look for tech-based partners. Reach out to businesses and say, hey, you want to support technology? Buy me iPads. And you might get lucky. No. But also, we have brochures and bookmarks that list what libraries we're at. You can reach out to any of us if you have any questions or want to know how we came up with what we came up with. That's it. Thank you so much for being such good listeners. Any comments? Questions? Yes. Not at this time. Oh, I'm sorry. The question was, did we have a chance to test them in the field? And the answer was not at this time.
But I do teach ESL in the library, and I do use iPads with the girls. Yeah.
And I'll be taking mine to my community rep. So hopefully we'll have feedback within the next 6 months.
Jason.
Another follow-up question. And let me know if you can hear me if I talk like this. Are you guys providing surveys at all to get feedback from those users? I know you said you were going to
there is a pre-survey and then a post-survey. So they'll get to say if it was helpful for them or not. Any other questions? All right.
Thank you.
The next team is Team Lost Boys. Yes. Will you need to use video on screen?
No video, audio.
Okay, what they were doing and they had difficulty, do you?
Nope.
Oh, okay, good.
He's still saying we can't use the screen. It's working.
Okay, how many of you in our audience today are millennials? Okay, couple people. How many of you sitting in this room know someone who is a millennial? Cool. How many of you in this room live with someone who is a millennial or you work with someone who is a millennial? And most importantly, how many of you know a millennial, work with a millennial, live with a millennial that you deeply care about? Awesome, very good. Today we are talking about millennials, the largest group in America currently, and how they are changing the world as we know it. We are the team Lost Boys for ILead 2017. Our project is called Gen UC, and we are excited to present to you today. My name is Corey Hines. I am the Assistant Director for the Public Library for Union County.
I'm Sky Poole. I'm the Teen Services Coordinator for the Her Memorial Library.
Mary Harrison, Head of Children's Services at the Public Library for Union County.
Jeffrey Siebold, Tech Training Coordinator for Union County Library System.
Our main goal for our project is focusing on millennials who are currently living and working in Union County, and our goal is to highlight their accomplishments and celebrate their achievements while also facilitating access to information, resources, services, and materials. When we were first looking at what we wanted to do for our ILead community project, we started with the Pennsylvania State Data Center reports and made some astounding discoveries about the people who are in our service area. And we found that millennials make up approximately 30% of Union County. Union County also ranks 6 out of 67 PA counties with high percentages of millennials and also has a millennial percentile of 91%. This population has increased from 28.7% to 30.2% in just 4 years. That's incredible. It's evident that millennials are contributing to the social, economic, and cultural climate of Union County. These are people who are going to affect what's going on in our future in Union. And of course, there's some competition with other groups. We have 4 really great school districts. We have a lot of professionals working in the area, and we have an active senior community as well. So there are a lot of different people who are demanding different attention, but when we looked at millennials, we saw that there really is not that much visibility concerning them or what they do. A lot of people are moving to the community, they're new, they're looking for ways to fit in, and we wanted to create a centralized resource for them so they know what's going on in the community and how they can give back. But we also want to make it attractive for millennials. Our goal is to increase their visibility, us seeing them on a day-to-day basis, but also to increase the visibility of things that are for them. So let's talk a little bit about Union County. It is attracting a large group of millennials. First of all, we are home to Bucknell University, which is a 4-year private liberal arts school. There are several health institutions and medical practices that bring in doctors, nurses, professionals from all over the country. There are 4 correctional institutions, and this brings a workforce, again, all over the place. And there's an influx of young professionals because they see that there are a lot of great opportunities in Union County. And it's a great place to live. It's safe, so it's a good place to live and to raise a family. It has a stable economy because there are some business partnership organizations that support the town and support each other. It is a really nice combination of areas that are a little more suburban, and if you drive outside of Lewisburg, you see lots of farming communities that really prosper. There are a lot of diverse cultures, and it is a center for the arts, and of course, it has a great library system. So, we know a little bit about where we're coming from, but who are these millennials exactly? These are persons aged from 18 to 32, and they are generally well educated, and they're seeking purpose and success in their careers and their lifestyles. These people are really likely to volunteer, and they often practice self-care routines to take care of themselves and to build themselves up. They are very engaged with technology. When you say millennial, the first thing that comes to mind is, they have a smartphone in their hand. And they are nostalgic and very interested in networking. If you want to get a millennial interested, start talking about the cool things that happened in the 90s. Generally, though, they are overqualified and unemployed, collectively in debt by $1 trillion. That really is astounding. A lot of them are living with roommates or with family members, and generally are anxious, self-conscious, and sometimes lacking basic survival skills. These challenges for millennials are not unique to Union County. This is all over the place, but it is time for us to look in our own backyards and our own community and see what we can do to address their needs. So there are a couple obstacles for millennials in society. They're facing some challenges, finding solid employment where they feel fulfilled by what they're doing, balancing debt with savings and managing a lifestyle, attempting to maintain physical, emotional, and financial health, and most importantly, we found in our research, combating negative stereotypes within our community. Millennials, we say that like it's a bad word sometimes. When someone says millennial, you think, oh, well, they're self-absorbed, they're entitled, they're uncooperative. They're killing traditional values and industries. Millennials are responsible for the death of napkins, cereal, and malls and shopping centers. They use technology way too much. I mean, their smartphones are always glued into their hand. You can't see them because they're always looking down. And they take the easy way out. They don't work hard. They don't want to be involved. Actually, no, that's not really the case. A recent Pew study found that the #1 users of libraries in America are millennials. They are there, and this proves that they are ready to be engaged with us as librarians. So this brings us to Project Gen UC. Like I said, we are increasing the visibility of millennials in Union County. Union County, UC, translates to UC, as we're looking at you, we're seeing you for who you are. And it's not just enough to have visibility. It's more than that. It's understanding, it's care, it's taking the time to communicate with positive, authentic experiences. So we are providing an outlet for millennials to collaborate and to give back to the community. And by doing that, we're creating a support network with really awesome programming, an engaging podcast, and library lending kits.
Thank you. Many millennials have been leave home without basic life and survival skills. In the year 2011, a survey was done, a study on what millennials know as far as basic life skills. And it was found that they don't know much of anything as far as basic life skills. Many of them live at home. They don't have to deal with laundry or cooking. So when they do leave home, they are absolutely clueless as to what to do. So therefore, we are looking at some of the programs that we can use to teach them how to, or what to do when they get older. We want them to have tips and tricks to know and to achieve success. We are having networking nights and fun social events. Basics for the children or the millennials that need to have Adult 101. One of our programs that we just had was new to the community night. We had representation from various community groups and organizations. Millennials or other people were able to come in, talk to the community services or the other services that were available to them, find out what they had to provide for them, and they were able to get information about those services. We want them to be comfortable in the community. A lot of times when new people come into a community, they know how to get to the grocery store, how to get to the bank, and the rest of the area, they don't care, they don't know. So this way they can come into the area and that they know they might feel a little bit more comfortable exploring the area and becoming involved. Another thing that we did was Books on Tap. It was held at the Brassiere 101. It was sharing good literature and nonfiction. People could make new friends. They could discuss literature and become acquainted with things that the library might have for them. We also had social events that focus on the PA Forward literacy skills also with the Books on Tap. With future programs, we are looking to have basic life skills that they can learn about. We're going to have Adulting 101 classes about insurance, taxes and finances, politics, etiquette, professionalism, job skills, stress management, health and nutrition, home and apartment repair basics, and car maintenance. Another way that we're going to be doing, the other two ways we're going to be using these classes is through podcasting and with lending libraries.
Let's talk about podcasts. We decided to use podcasts as our format because it's accessible not only to us as the creators, but to the users as well. We had toyed with the idea of using a YouTube channel, but that would require the user to carve out time in their day to dedicate to us, and that just really doesn't go along with the typical millennial's lifestyle. So using a podcast, they're able to multitask while absorbing our information. They can drive, cook, clean, whatever, while they're listening to our podcast. Also, it's important, a podcast, because there's no gatekeepers currently. You don't have to pay anybody to make a podcast. You record it, you put it up, it's there. The medium is very flexible. We can bend it to use it however we need. There's no format like if we were to use radio or television. Our podcasts will cover the same areas as our programming. We will contact the experts that we bring in for our programs and take the chance to do a deeper conversational dive into the topics. We also are toying with the idea of having a millennial spotlight, where if we see someone who's doing something really great in our community, we bring them in to talk and, let everybody else know what they're doing. I also think that podcasts are a really, really great format because, especially using this conversational style, they'll be infinitely re-listenable. So even 20 years from now, you can go back and listen to our finance guy. Yeah.
So we're also going to have lending kits. These are were purchased with our ILead grant money. The tools and materials were turned into 3 different types of kits. They'll actually be available at all 3 library locations to borrow, and we'll have one at each location. That way they kind of rotate and get more publicity that way. This allows the millennials to practice their life skills from our programs and podcasts, and this way they can buy these tools. Without buying these tools, they can just rent them from us through the library instead of paying hundreds of dollars for different types of tools they may use one time every 5 years. So the first one we have is kitchen utensils. So we have a dinnerware set so they could host their own dinner party instead of investing in tons of dishes that they may use 5 times in their life. We have flatware, a crock pot, and a blender, and also an immersion hand blender, so we can get pretty fancy with our meals then. So home and apartment repair, we have a drill with all the different attachments. We have screwdrivers, of course, laser level, pliers, hammer, tape measure. So all the basics to deal with basic house and apartment problems. And of course, car maintenance. We have a lug nut wrench, adjustable wrenches, ratchet set, tire gauge, impact wrench and socket set, and also pliers. So that way, change the tire, check its pressure, adjust stuff in your engine and everywhere else.
And of course, millennials love technology. They love the internet. Who doesn't love the internet? It's a great place to find cat videos. But we do have an email address. We have a website, which is genuc.co.vu. We also have an Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So we can reach people with whatever they like to use so they know that they're getting good information. And it's important to stay in contact. So if millennials are curious about something, even if it's, the middle of the night and they want to message us on Facebook, that's okay. We'll be there for them. So looking at our anticipated outcomes and our vision, increasing the visibility of millennials who live and work in Union County is so important. It's not just enough to be aware of them or aware of the differences that might be between them and other generations. That's merely toleration, and sometimes toleration implies, okay, I see you, that's nice, I still don't like you, but we're in the same room, we can look at each other kind of. That's not enough. It's about changing attitudes. It's about bringing people together for meaningful sharing and understanding things at an intergenerational level. We want to challenge public opinion and change minds concerning millennial stereotypes. This morning, the secretary said to us that this is the future, and millennials are really driving that as they are coming into the workforce. So it's so important to ensure our own future, no matter what age we are, to support those who are doing hard work, trying to be innovative, and doing amazing things for us. So we are encouraging millennials to take leadership positions in our community, and we want to help them become more confident and self-sufficient so they can succeed in whatever they do. And we hope that we are going to serve as a model for other libraries and organizations who are looking to engage millennials. And we've seen that in our research, that many libraries and social organizations are saying, hey, millennials are out there, we know they are, what can we do to make them feel like they are giving back to the community and creating the place where we are all living? So in thinking about ILead, innovative librarians exploring, applying, discovering, that is the method we used for our project. We are a group of librarians who are innovative. We are all exploring by doing research on our communities, by talking to people, by understanding who these people are that we're serving. We're applying, we're taking things that we are learning from these sessions out into our communities and understanding how we can use those things. And we're discovering. Discovery is a non-stopping process. We're always learning new things about our communities, learning new things about our libraries, and learning new things about ourselves as library programmers and representatives. And of course, for us, we're always discovering the new and amazing things that millennials can do. And this project would not be possible without the really wonderful support of so many people that we would like to thank right now. Brian Dawson and Diana Magdad, they've done a fabulous job with this program. Melinda Tanner, our team mentor, has been there for us every step of the way. Our community representative, Casey Pegg, the Pennsylvania State Library and staff, the Institute for Museum and Library Services, the Pennsylvania Department of Education, Mr. Glenn Miller, the Deputy Secretary and Commissioner for Libraries, Mr. Pedro Rivera, the Secretary of Education, our lovely ILead mentors and the presenters, and all of our colleagues that we've had the pleasure of knowing over the past few months. And we'd like to extend our gratitude to the Union County Library System directors and staff. So thank you very much for your attention. We appreciate that we have this opportunity. Are there any questions in the audience? Yes.
Did you limit attendees to the millennial age group for the Books on Tap and the new to the community programs?
Our question is if we limited the age group to just millennials for the programs that we're doing. And no, we didn't. We put them out as community events, trying to genuinely attract millennials. And actually, at the Books on Tap event, it's in a beautiful bar and lounge. All of the people who came were not millennials. So it was a bit of a surprise, like, oh, all right, we have these people. But we're hoping that over time, millennials will see this as a really great opportunity. And even those who are not millennials can say, hey, I had a nice time with a millennial the other day. Did you talk about new to the community?
At New to the Community, we did have some millennials there, but it was also a way for other people to get in touch with what services were available. Because of us being a college town and also a county that has 4 prisons, we have a lot of transit people in our county, so that there are all ages that are coming and going between professors and families of inmates. So we need to keep it open also to other people besides millennials.
Thank you. Yes.
How did you get the word out to the millennials that you're having these programs? What communication tools did you use?
Yeah. Well, right now, social media is our best friend, talking about how we're contacting our millennial population. And sometimes it's just as easy as seeing a Facebook post. And our system is lucky to have a great marketing coordinator, and we are emulating her style and our social media committee to understand how we are researching and reaching those individuals.
We're also looking at kind of guerrilla marketing, sidewalk chalking downtown, just really grabbing attention, making it kind of fun and attractive.
Through Bucknell, they have a type of, and maybe you know about it, where you put, and it only happens when it rains though, unfortunately, but you can put messages on sidewalks, and when it rains, the messages appear, so we're looking at some unique things there. But also we are still using basic types of communication. We still use the newspapers, and we still have our weekly calendar, we have our website, and we have our calendar on there with a list of events that happen daily and monthly.
Bucknell also has a really great office for civic engagement where they are in contact with students who are looking to be engaged with the community, whether they're from Union County or they're from faraway states. So that's also an incredibly helpful thing to know, so we can really get to those people who may be in Union County for a short while. Yes?
If another library was to replicate this, would you recommend doing the kits as well as the events, or maybe starting with events and leading to kits? Like, do you feel like these two things have to go hand in hand to reach the millennials?
I'd probably start with an event or two just to see if there is a big interest in your local community. And then if you see that big interest, find the most common problems that they're having, like with different life skills. So if it's car maintenance, definitely go for a car maintenance kit. If you feel like you need more than one car maintenance kit, that way just kind of gauge what your audience needs.
You would need to look at your budget and see once what you have, and just like Jeff said, look to see what their needs are first, and then go from there. If you feel that they need the kits, then that would be something that, yes, you would need to invest in.
I just wanted to say, adulting seems to be a popular theme in books now, and one of my favorites is called Adulting, How to Become a Grown-Up in 468 Easy Steps. And it's really excellent, and it's just basic tips for someone trying to grow up, learn those things that normally maybe your mother would have taught you. Now that most mothers are working, a lot of this information is not being passed down. So you might want to include that book in your.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't hear that book recommendation, Adulting in 468 Easy Ways. And, you know, a lot of millennials really are returning to books. It's a nostalgia factor, too, I think. I mean, I think about how many rainy days I spent in a tent in my room reading book after book. And I think there's something that really appeals to millennials, being able to have that book and to be able to get something out of it. You know, it's a really wonderful thing. So we are, now that we're doing this project, books that we buy, that is another factor that just adds to the beautiful complexity of serving a diverse population. Yes?
Did you guys consider any other social networks, or was there any particular reason you picked the three you did? I mean, obviously they're kind of the major three.
That's why.
Yeah, at this point, that's why we're trying to stick to what our county system already uses, just so there's a little bit of cohesion there, you know. But I think once we get to know our group, you know, if we see that everybody is using Snapchat, well, we'll be adventurous and we'll try Snapchat. But I think you start with the heavy hitters and go from there. But technology is always evolving and changing, and who knows, the app of tomorrow might not even be invented yet because it's in a millennial's head. But when that comes out and it becomes really popular, we will absolutely look into it.
Let's make a MySpace page.
We'll make a MySpace page.
I like the Lending Kids idea. I was just wondering, how long do you loan them out for?
Right now, we're going to loan them out for 2 weeks. So that way it gives them time to plan and get to know the devices and all the tools. That way they're not kind of like expecting to whip up a whole dinner party in a week. And that way that gives them time to trial and error and practice, kind of rehearse for the main event then. Yes?
I have a question about the lending kits as well. How did you come up with packaging for them? How do you keep them all together? And then did you have to consider storage of those kits?
Yes, every library, we are trying to find a good spot to store them. That way they don't get broken, especially the dinnerware set with all the plates. That's lots of breakage there that could happen. We have the Sterilite, like 60-gallon like tubs. That way it's easy to maneuver around if in a car that way. And we'll have to make sure definitely the plates are packaged like in bubble wrap, something that way it keeps them secure. That way we don't end up having cracked plates the first time it's out. So.
And we will basically have them itemized like you would a discovery pack, and then have them barcoded, and they would just check them out that way then.
That is all the time that we have for questions now because we are on a schedule, but we're really excited that you're engaged in asking questions. And if you do have further questions, and for those of you who may be live streaming this, feel free to contact us because this is new to us too, and a lot of it is learning as a process. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate your time.
I'd like to encourage you, as you need to go take a break, do so. We do want to keep to the schedule, but please, I know there's a lot of questions, and I think, you know, you'll hopefully have an opportunity at lunchtime to continue the conversation. There's some really great products that we're hearing about. Who is next? We have Team Jumpstart. PA job start. Because we're not anywhere else. David, may we have your assistance? I'm sorry. The thumb drive's in the wall. I'm not sure how to access the thumb drive from here. That makes sense. Oh, there we go. Thank you, David. It's the one that's to me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ron Lytle. I'm the librarian at Williamsburg Public Library, a small town in Blair County along the Juniata River.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susan McClellan, Director of Coriopolis Memorial Library near Pittsburgh, PA.
I'm Brian Isdow. I'm the library supervisor at the Longcrest Library of the Free Library of Philadelphia.
And I'm Claire Williams. I'm from the Huntington County Library.
And our group was given workforce development as our topic. And early on, we identified a group that we thought our project could help. And that's those individuals whose primary internet access is on their smartphone. So we developed several different approaches to helping those people with their job search. Susan's going to give you a little bit more information on the statistics and the research that we did.
I just love job hunting, said no one ever. We've all dealt with that job hunter who comes into our library and is frustrated, and we all know that job hunting is a time-consuming process. There are so many resources out there on the internet, but it can be difficult to find reliable sources. As librarians, we're credible sources, but we want to help those mobile job users who come in at the last minute or may not have access after the library is closed for the night and have an immediate need to complete a resume or to upload a resume in their job search. Why this is important is so many people out there, there are over 100 million people own smartphones. Most Americans own multiple digital devices, and they are more connected now than ever before. There are was a 2015 Pew study done that showed many smartphone statistics, including 28% of Americans, including 53% of the younger population, have used their smartphone as part of their job search. A September 2014 study showed that 20% of job seekers, they would just simply give up on an online job application if they could not complete it online. As we know now, even any job application, more and more companies are going with mobile technology, such as Walmart, Giant Eagle, Kmart. Almost all applications are done completely online now. Half of the smartphone job seekers have filled out a job application online, and 23% have used it to create a resume or a cover letter. Working in a small library myself, I see people every day who come in, and a lot of people are not even sure how to get started with a resume. Therefore, we will talk about the products we've developed, including one that will show users how to get started with a resume. A 2014 poll indicated 32% of people will rely on their mobile device for their future job search, and they will use it more in the future than at any time before. I see more and more people coming into the library that are using their smartphone device for job searching. One poll found that 9 out of 10 people anticipate they will use a phone to find a job in the next year. I live in a community where people come into my library just for our internet access, or they come in with their smartphone and want to do printing. Our goal is to help users who are struggling during their job search to have high-quality job hunting resources, guide them to create a basic resume, and assist them with other soft skills. And why it's important is because I believe that after our product is done and we go back to our libraries and everybody becomes familiar with using our products, that it has unlimited potential in our communities and beyond, just because so many people are using their mobile phone. We would like to partner with other community groups and get the word out there about our product. Our resources are an Android-compatible app, a dual USB flash drive, and a website which is called pajobstart.com.
Okay, so as Susan mentioned, our mission really was to kind of help these job seekers that don't have regular access, are using their smartphones as their primary source of connection. And you know, the process here was, how do we do this? How do we make this easy? How do we make this comfortable for folks that are struggling through this? So one of the things we looked at, we put our heads together. We put together a list of resources for people to access. Some of them were general, Career Builder, Indeed, the type of resources that people would commonly come to the library for. But we also wanted to highlight things that people weren't necessarily thinking about, like MyScout, GCF Learn Free, that would help with people, in terms of their technical skills, their soft skills, figuring out interview processes to kind of carry them through this. We looked at local resources. Some of us have, different support, job support groups in our communities. So things like, the local paper classified sites. The Philadelphia has a Commission on Aging, which has tries to assist older adults in connecting with, reconnecting with the workforce. Reintegration for returning citizens. RISE is another Philadelphia initiative. Ban the Box, local initiative. It's illegal in Philadelphia for employers to ask about criminal history during the job application procedures. While this is local to Philadelphia, this may be something statewide to be considering. So there's a list of resources. Hopefully it will point people in the right direction to kind of help guide for those times when we're not there to provide assistance. We're kind of relying on our reputations as a library, providing those reputable sources as a place to go. And then really the core in terms of what we kept coming back to was the resume builder. We wanted to be able to provide people with a easy to use kind of method to create a resume that they didn't really, if they weren't comfortable, if they didn't know how to do this, if they were working specifically off of their smartphone, that would enable them to really just put information into a fillable form and the form would do the work for them. We tried a couple different methods, and we wound up relying on Google Forms, which allowed us to create that fillable form that we wanted, but we were able to kind of enable the script to do a couple things. One was to create that formatted document that we wanted, and it automatically gets emailed to the person who created the form. So we're kind of proud of that, and it seems to work out fairly well. But once we got those two pieces in place, the resource list and the resume builder, it became time to actually deal with an app process, which I'm going to let Claire talk to you a little bit about that.
So going into the app process, none of us really had much coding experience. So we looked around at a couple different solutions for creating an app without, in 6 months, learning an entire coding language and trying to struggle through that. So we ended up finding a fairly drag and drop interface, which gave us a nice app that we could keep pretty minimal, since the people we're trying to help don't necessarily have a lot of tech skills, and the less wrong places you could possibly click was better. And we had found some other apps that created resumes, but a lot of them had a lot of ads, they had a lot of notifications, and there were just so many places to click that weren't going to get you what you wanted, which is even more frustrating than, I don't know what I'm doing, this isn't doing what I want. So our app is currently in live beta, and let's see if this works. And this will just kind of scroll through what the ad looks like. There's the resume builder, the job resources, a way to contact us, and it's all in as simple an interface as we could manage. And we went for the Google Play Store for now, and if we secure additional funding, we would also have the ability to put it in the Apple App Store. And it'll be totally free, there won't be any ads, they can just download it, use this app at home, or if they happen to not have a smartphone, the same resources will be available on our website. And it'll also be available on our dual-ended flash drives, which Ronan is going to talk about.
And you probably can't see this, but this is what they are now calling a smartphone flash drive. It has a regular USB connector on the end, and then a micro USB connector. This way, at least with the Android phones, you can connect it right to your phone, put it on the flash drive, take it somewhere, get things printed. And interestingly enough, Secretary Rivera told us that there is now an adapter that you can put on the micro USB for Lightning and the Apple devices, which of course we did not know about. But again, talking about furthering the project and other funding, this is something that that we would hope to do. We had actually hoped to have examples of the flash drive here to distribute today, and that didn't happen. And, you know, things happen. But if you're at all interested, just drop us an email at pajobstart@gmail.com, and we will send you one or two, whatever. And we're going to also distribute them, obviously, to our libraries. We're going to send some out to the district library centers. We'll obviously send some to Commonwealth libraries. And we'll, you know, the app is probably the cornerstone of our project, but we were looking for other ways to get the message out. So the flash drives will have a nice little logo on them, but it will also have all the information, all the websites, clickable links to everything on the app. And obviously, the local business associations, job fairs, and CareerLink in particular are places that we're looking at to share all our information. And obviously, community partnerships are very important. I think probably you realized from the introductions, we're kind of a very varied group. Two of us are really from the sticks, Philadelphia, and then the Pittsburgh suburbs. So we thought that we were really looking for something that would work in all of our communities. And hopefully we have something, and we think that we have something that will. And this is one of Susan's patrons thanking us in advance. And that's the one thing that we all talked about. You see so many people who are so frustrated trying to fill out something online, and particularly the people who just get so frustrated they quit. Really we're hoping to help them out. And of course we have the Facebook page, the PA Job Start website, which currently takes you right to the Facebook page, but we'll have more information on it later. And we'd really like to thank a lot of people. Miriam Phillips, our mentor, was really wonderful to work with, especially for a group of people who had never met before. This was an interesting experience, and I think we frustrated Miriam just a little bit in the beginning. No. And of course, we can't stop without thanking Diana. This program is just wonderful. All the trainers and presenters. And of course, I always mess this up, the Institution of Museum and Library Services, and ILead USA and Commonwealth Libraries. Here we go. And this is us. Obviously, questions, comments, requests for flash drives, just drop us an email. At this point, we hope to have the flash drives on October 18th, the day that PALA closes. But it seems to be it. So do you have any questions? They're 16 gig hard drives with all the information loaded, a custom logo. They were around $9 a piece. So we thought that was pretty reasonable if we ever get them.
And it obviously also depends how many you order. The per item price decreases
Right.
the more you buy at a time.
Yeah, but around for 16 gig, $10 or less.
Have you guys thought about partnering up with any of the schools or universities with their career centers? Because if a lot of, the younger generations doing everything on their phones, they might as well have access to your really simple app in order to create their resume, maybe even, springboard into a cover letter. Maybe reaching out to the schools to tap into the younger demographic as well.
Not yet. Right this time. Well,
it'll automatically email them a PDF based on the email they enter in the form, and we're working on also sending them a editable document as well. But we went with the PDF initially since most job sites accept PDF and doesn't screw with your formatting at all as you're going.
well, thank you all.
We're hoping in the next couple weeks. We're in a live beta right now. We're working out the last of the kinks, and then we're hoping to upload it fairly soon. Thank you.
The next team is Team Pathfinders.
We're putting our mentor to work.
Hi, everyone. We are Team Pathfinder, and we're very, very excited to bring our vision of CAT to you. My name is Jackie Smith. I am the director at the Portage Public Library in Portage, Pennsylvania.
I am Amy Kendrick, and I am from York Suburban High School in York, Pennsylvania.
I am Patricia Forshee, and I am from the Mifflin County Library.
Hi, I'm Mark Wolf. I work in the Free Library of Philadelphia, the Bushrod branch.
Hello, I'm Tanya Fisher, and I work at Southern Lehigh Public Library.
Sure. I'm Jason Fajakovic. I'm the mentor for the Pathfinders. I'm the Youth Services Librarian at Middletown Free Library in Delaware County.
All right, so our project is called CAT. It's a community access tablet. And in our creation process, we decided that the problem that we wanted to try to meet was the lack of what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence? Yeah, confidence from our digital learners. Their technology is really super cool, but they're just not quite sure what to do with it. So we're trying to make some tutorials and access points to help them feel more comfortable using their device to its fullest potential. So we're going to do that through some participatory technology. So initially we had considered making our own videos, some something very specific for our individual libraries because we're all from very different places. But that, with the timeline, just didn't seem to pan out so well. So we went in hunt of videos that were already in existence to help us do simple things that our patrons were struggling with. Setting up an email account, starting their own Facebook account, being safe while they're on the internet, not falling prey to predators that are looking to steal their information. So we found things that tailored themselves to our specific area, and then we each created a website to host these links. So we figured the best way to present this to the people in need was through two different type kits. The first is a teachable moment cat. Learners are going to work at their own pace. It's more of a one-on-one scenario. It would consist of an iPad or the Lenovo mix. So we have both the Apple and the Android operating system, depending on their level of comfort. It also comes with a 128 gigabyte memory card and 2 sets of headphones in case they're, it's a small group and they're learning together. The other is the community room cat. So this is going to allow us to get the information to a little bit larger group or to go out and do some outreach, whether it be at the schools or the rec center or the nursing home. We can reach a larger group of people by using the Lenovo Mix, our wireless mini projector, which is super duper cool, the wireless speaker, the portable power strip, and again, the memory card and a really nifty case on wheels that strolls through the streets of Harrisburg like a dream.
In style.
Of course, yes. So if you were to purchase just the Teachable Moments cat for those items that I mentioned, your cost is about $625. If you want to do the community room kit, it's a little bit more at $650. We rolled everything into one rather than buying 2 of the Lenovo Mixes, 2 of the memory cards. We created one kit, and the cost was about $900. So it's very doable, and if you beg, sometimes it works. You can get some discounts if you if you explain your situation and what your goal is. Some businesses are willing to work with you and cut you a break.
So Team Pathfinders created a project that is both customizable and fits the needs of all of our communities. And that was really important to us. We didn't know one another. We didn't know each other. And so we had to come to a consensus and create a project that would fit all of our user needs. And we're going to show you some websites in a second here. So previous groups did apps. They created an app, or they downloaded apps or podcasts. And so we chose a website as our platform. And so the idea would be to put the tablets in kiosk mode, already preloaded to the specific website. And whose website do we have? Oh, this is Amy's. So this would be, Amy works for a school district. And she used Google Sites, and I also used a Google site. And her how-to videos are for Noodle tools and Gale databases. And so ideally, we would like to create our own screencasts or our own videos, but we, at this point, chose to just use what was available. I mean, why reinvent the wheel if there's an excellent tutorial on Noodle? And then, so Jackie here, she created a WordPress site, and you can see she has some keyboard helpful tips. She also did email etiquette and internet safety, and how to open a Gmail account. You saw that too, right there. And Trish, she did a Weebly account, created a Weebly website, and she used a different kind of cat. So as you can see, obviously, you can do anything you want. You really can. And the websites are free. And do you have any questions for us?
We talked to our community reps. I did a survey of the students that were in my library.
I used my experiences. I'm in a one-person branch, so all of the questions that come to me. So I kind of already knew what people were looking to learn. And then I also do some outreach at a local nursing home, and we were kind of tossing around the idea of doing something in-house for them, and what would they like to learn. So it was a survey of sorts.
My general population is very not techno-savvy, and to have something like this was kind of something they have been asking for all along, but were not aware they were asking for. So hopefully this will meet a need for them.
And since we have diverse demographics, we chose not to pick an age demographic. We chose the novice and reluctant digital user, like that was our group. So we thought we could accomplish this goal that way. Favorite piece of technology?
I have a confession that I am in love with the Lenovo Mix. It's really cool that it can be a tablet or it can be a laptop. And it works really good with the projector and the speaker. Mark?
I pushed for the portable kit from the beginning because I thought that would be of a greater use, what I thought I could do with things. So when I saw that the projector was as portable as it is, and that the speaker, the equipment is just, let me see that. This is our projector, and our speaker is not much bigger. The fact that it's as portable as it is, and that they're as technically proficient as they are. I mean, they're good models for what we got, and they were affordable.
Wait, hold on. Also, I will follow up that, but also in March, if you remember, we received the Lenovo stick with the wireless keyboard, so we were really trying to incorporate that. We thought, well, we have that tool, so we might as well use it, so that was why we went with the Lenovo Mix and the speaker, so that they could talk to one another. It was all wireless, it's Bluetooth. I mean, that's pretty cool. We think that's cool. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I didn't.
I thought you projected.
I projected onto a bay door at a fire company, and it was beautiful. I don't have dimensions, I'm sorry. But the picture quality was really nice, and the sound quality from the speaker was awesome. Yes.
The video tutorials you customize the websites for each of your locations, but the video how to set up a Gmail account, is that the same tutorial for each website if you chose to incorporate that?
Not necessarily. Basically, we went with tutorials that we felt would better reach our patrons. So some of them are more visual, and others are more audible. Amy,
We picked the Gmail because that was the one consensus that we all had when we started, and so I think of the 4 of us, 3 of them just happened to be the same Gmail account set up video because we kind of shared that one, but I think one of them's different, but that was purely by chance and not by design.
I'd also suggest that you create some sort of site where these tutorials are shared for other libraries so we don't have to go looking. Absolutely.
But it was never our intention to take what was on the internet and use it. It was our intention to create these things. It was the matter of time and the availability of equipment that led us to settle for that. And we're not going to have the same set. That was the whole drive of this, each location, I have a lot of Yahoo users at my location, so I'm going to have to find a Yahoo or make a Yahoo. Not that they're that different, but they're just different enough. So it really is the fact that each location, because of where we are, can see what questions we're getting and which sites they're frequenting, that we can find or create a video that addresses that specific. Along with PA Job Start, though, I know a lot of what we have are people applying for the same jobs online, for the same entities, a lot of Home Depot and whatnot for whichever areas. So I think some of those, if there's a way to put a video to get them through the first couple pages of that job application, which runs on forever, I think that would be a useful content too that maybe we could mirror. They're Bluetooth. So it should be the same standard.
So the question is, does the speaker and the projector work with both the iPad and the mix? And since they're Bluetooth, yes.
Capabilities include HD, USB hookup, and Bluetooth. So you're pretty well covered with
Yeah,
this model.
we really tried for interoperability. I mean, that was our goal. Go ahead.
How well does the projector work in like a fairly well-lit room? And could, if a community partner was interested in doing a class on email safety, could they come in and use your kit?
That was, well, some of us only got the equipment this week, so we haven't really had a chance to put it to use. But it was our intention to allow community members to come in and use it for presentations. Yes, definitely. Any other questions? Thank you.
That's my bad ear.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. I think those were wonderful products, and I'm really excited to see where they're going to go with these, and that other libraries can take that information and duplicate it or build upon them. And I think you all did a wonderful job, and I think we should do another round of applause for everyone. We have certificates. Yes. But before we get started on that, I do want to remind you that we will be sending out a survey. There'll be questions about this October session and your overall ILead experience for the year. You may share that with your supervisor. Someone did ask me, or your community rep. There's a place for them to check other. So we would like your input also. We do have, I'd like to acknowledge the supervisors that have come today. Would you want to stand up and introduce yourselves? You don't have to if you don't really want to, but.
David Belandra, I'm Director of Libraries for Lower Merion Township, and Alice Berry Collins is one of the employees at Lower Merion.
Thank you for coming.
I'm Lynette Sager from Southern Lehigh Public Library in Center Valley, Pennsylvania, and I have a staff member on Team Pathfinders.
Thank you. And we also have a community representative with us. Thank you for joining us. And, you know, it would not be possible for them to be here without the supervisors giving them this time off and also the time to spend at work, because it was time intensive. And so we really appreciate you giving that time to them to participate. It's much appreciated, and we hope that you appreciate, their final products. So we have these surveys that are going out. We also had sent out some logs for you to keep, and I know that time goes and it's, you're very busy, but if you have your community representative and activity logs to send me, that would be great. Also, again, to remind you, I would love a compendium article, okay? And I was really pleased when I saw your products. I mean, I heard a little bit, throughout the time what you're doing, but I was so pleased to see that you actually incorporated some of the sessions that we had. I mean, we had two people come and talk about podcasts for the PA Forward, and they gave their expertise. So I don't know how much that influenced you to use a podcast, but I was really pleased to see that. The Google Forms. I mean, I believe that, I think that was Michael Hayward that did that. I mean, they're going to be really pleased to hear that you've actually incorporated this stuff and app building, and it's just really wonderful. And you have done a fantastic job. You've challenged yourself. I mean, I don't know if I would have ever just said, hey, yeah, I'll take a Raspberry Pi class. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Or, I mean, you really challenged yourselves, and I'm very proud of you all, and I think you've done a great job. So, I would like to call down the mentors, and we have certificates. I did have some, I mixed these all up last night. And, yeah, these are all mixed up. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. They were separated. Let's see if I can, could you hold this thing? They were separated last evening, before dinner. I might just call them out randomly. Okay.
These seem to be empty.
This must be. Here they are. These are them. They are totally confused. Yeah, sorry about that. When you come down, your mentor will present you with your photo. I'll call out your name for your certificate, and you'll get your photo of your team from your mentor, ABC ESL. And then I believe your certificates are in there too. Yeah. Lost Boys. There's another set somewhere.
There we go.
Oh, they came out. I think this one goes with that. All right, these are not in any particular order, apparently. Oh, Miriam, this is yours. These are mixed up. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry to delay. I'm holding you up from food. So, lunch. It's basically the same lunch, but we do have a surprise today. Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. This is almost funny. Okay, we are getting there. Probably. That would be my luck. Okay, hey. Would Mark Wolf come down? Thank you for participating. Oh, yes, we could do a hug.
It's been wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for participating. Corey Hines. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Jacqueline Smith. Jackie. Thank you. Claire Williams. Wonderful. Jeffrey Siebold. Thank you. Catherine Scholl. Thank you so much. Sky Pool. Thank you so much. Susan McClellan. Hey, Susan. Congratulations. Nadine Kramartz. Well, we'll just keep this one. Amy Kendrick. Thank you, thank you. Brian Isdell. I never could pronounce that. You'll have to come down and pronounce that correctly.
It's Isdell.
Isdell, congratulations. Thank you so much. Mary Harrison. Congratulations, thank you. Tanya Fisher. Congratulations. Alice Marie Collins. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Laura Brandt. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love hugs. Thank you. Mary Boykoff. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you. Patricia Forshey. Congratulations. Thank you. Roan Lytle. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who did not get a certificate? Number 5. Well, we also have certificates for our mentors, which I think some of them have already received them in their pack. No? Jason, thank you so much. Thank you, Jason. And let's see, who else? let's see. Did you get one? David, did you get? We're going to have to go digging. So. But we also want to acknowledge all the wonderful instructors, and they will all be getting a certificate in the mail. Most of them were not able to join us. We do have some in the audience, I believe. Jessica, would you stand up? We'll send this to you. You don't have to come all down, but if you would like to, you can join us. But I mean, we had just a wealth of instructors, presenters. It's been wonderful. All the people that have helped out with ILead. I don't know how many of these we have. I don't know. We probably had 20-some instructors. Hey, we found David's. Thank you so much, David. I really, really appreciated your help. So we also have Ed Lupico had helped out with ILead. He's way in the back. So we actually have a certificate for Ed. So I hope I haven't forgotten anyone, but it's about lunchtime. And we will still be in touch. You are not done. So I really think this is wonderful that you've all participated and you really challenged yourselves. And I'm just so happy for you. And I want to hear more wonderful things about you and your products as we go forward. Thank you so much. And let's go eat lunch.